What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm here to talk about Warhammer 40K. More specifically, today begins the first day of Hallow Weekend. 4 days of all things horror when it comes to Warhammer 40K. So, as you can see, today we are playing a game of Guess Who Horror 40K Edition. I will be giving you 3 detailed explanations of some person, place, or thing that thrives in the galaxy of Warhammer 40k, but that has to deal with the horror side of it. It could be a weapon, it could be a named character, it could be a creature, it could be anything, honestly. And I've done these 3 or 4 times before, and it seems to be something that you guys kind of enjoy. So I decided, why not start off this year's Hallow Weekend with something a little lighthearted, and the closer we get to Halloween, the darker and more gruesome the videos will become. So, guess who will be today? Tomorrow I will be giving you guys a detailed exploration as to how a servitor is created. It doesn't seem that bad, but once you actually think about it, it's a pretty gruesome fate. And then we got a special one on Sunday, and we're going to be finishing it off with a creepypasta on Monday, Halloween itself. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and let's begin this game of Guess Who. And now for the first description. Driven by pure instinctual need to kill, this abomination preys upon those who are exhibiting dread and confusion. Utilizing its slender body, it streaks across the sky and impales the target with its long, barbed, horned tail. If that doesn't do the trick, they'll emit arcs of lightning that stun the enemy long enough for them to devour them whole. Their jaws are even capable of breaking through Geller fields and puncturing the hulls of starships. If you see one, chances are many more are nearby, for these feral things travel in deadly packs. What am I? And now let's move on to number 2. So powerful is this entity that reality itself bends to its will. No flesh nor armor can withstand its might. A single attack from it destroyed a mighty land raider, and only a scratch is needed to fell any mortal. Its birth can be attributed to the first act of evil humanity had accomplished, and through the ages, it's only grown stronger and stronger. Its form has also changed across the millennia, ranging from man to machine. It is one of the few beings who have fought against the Emperor of mankind and lived. What am I? And now for the final one. This creature can mutate before your eyes to ensure that your demise is exactly how it wants it to end. But what it wants is your blood. Its vampiric appetite drives it to feed non-stop, or else it will enter a suspended animation until it senses a living being nearby. It will then fuse its long, sinewy, bony fingers into a bladed edge and camouflage itself into the darkness, awaiting to ambush its victims. Once it's ready to strike, its feeding tentacles drain the poor soul dry. What am I? Well, now that you guys have had time to comment down below your thoughts for these 3 guesses, let's go ahead and unveil them. And now, hopefully you guys have guessed down below to see what the results are. So let's begin with the first one. And it is none other than the demonic Screamer of Tzeentch. This is a very not known demon for Tzeentch, because when it comes to like the Tzeentchian demons, the one that comes to mind are the horrors. After that, all I think about is like Kairos Fate Weaver, and then maybe the Flamers, and the last thing in my mind is the Screamer. These things look pretty badass. A mix of like manta ray and a barbed wire, I guess. Like, they're thorny, they're scaly, they got like 6 eyes. They're just really weird. It's like a manta ray flying through the air. They shoot lightning, and it's just a very obscure thing when it comes to Zeech. I guess you can also say that the discs of Zeech are kind of like a mutated form of these creatures. The cool thing about them is that, well, I don't know if it's cool, but one of the things that I really enjoyed about them is that they're very predatory. They're not very smart, but they're very animalistic. So it's almost like these demons don't really have much going on, and they're just going to attack whatever's nearby. So sorcerers kind of use that to their advantage and just use them to sow chaos when they're attacking somebody. So if you guys guessed the Screamer of Zeech, you've got the first one correct. Now let's go ahead and move to number 2. And this one, I tried to go a little obscure, but it is none other than drach'nyen. Drach'nyen is one of my favorite demon weapons ever spoken of, because when it comes to demon weapons, they're really badass. They could be like a massive chain axe, a power sword, or it could be literally a demon created from the first murder of humankind. That's badass. Not just that, but it's said that this demon gets more and more empowered with every human that dies. And as you can tell, a bunch of humans are dying by the day, especially those that are being killed off to fuel the Emperor. And obviously, you know, this whole galaxy is encased in war, so humanity just dies by the billions each and every day, and so drach'nyen just grows stronger and stronger and stronger. But drach'nyen, being a demon, is also able to change its form. It even encased a titan, and that's why it was just dealing damage and just obliterating stuff during the Horus Heresy. The Emperor even came toe-to-toe with it, and the Emperor, as powerful as he is, could not bring down drach'nyen. Drach'nyen's ability to shapeshift turned into a mortal man for some reason and fought against the Emperor. He wasn't able to defeat the Emperor, but the Emperor couldn't defeat him, so they were also in like a stalemate. Eventually what the Emperor did is he kind of forced drach'nyen to take form of a sword and impaled one of his custodies with this demon sword to kind of bind it within him. He impaled it into Endymion Ra, or Ra Endymion, I believe that's what his name is, in a way that the sword didn't pierce any of his organs, so it wasn't like a death blow. And then Ra Endymion, the custodian, went into the webway and was never seen of again. We don't know what happened, but clearly Abaddon the Despoiler, through his Black Crusades, came across this weapon and is now his main weapon when fighting against the forces of the Imperium. So drach'nyen is super important, super powerful. Like I said, fought against the Emperor one-on-one and was capable of surviving. I don't know any other thing that can say they did this. I mean, I guess you could say the Dragon of Mars, since the Emperor didn't kill him, he used them as a means to kind of barter relations with the Adeptus Mechanicus. But that's going off in a completely different tangent. But yeah, number 2 is none other than drach'nyen. And finally we come to the last one, and this is none other than the ymgarl genestealers. So when I was doing research on this, I knew what ymgarl genestealers were. They're like genestealers, but they got the little Cthulhu tentacles on their mouths. And I always thought they were just genestealers of a different strain. And that's true, they are. But these things are so radically different from all the other Tyranid fleets that Tyranids will not assimilate their biomass into their tendrils and adapt. The reason for that is because perhaps this is a strain that came before any other Tyranid, and that's why they're so different. Maybe there's something about them that, you know, the Tyranid hive mind doesn't want, because they are so bloodthirsty. They're vampires essentially, that if they cannot get blood, they turn into a hibernation state, or they just outright die. And if that's the case, clearly the Tyranids do not want that to happen, because they got to keep on going biomass to biomass, or else, you know, they'll just stay in stasis or die out, and that's something that the hive mind cannot afford to do. they have to consume and they have to keep on moving. So with that being said, guys, let me know which one of you got all 3 correct. No cheating in the comments. And yeah, let me know if you guys enjoy these little ones. Like I said, I've done Guess Who's before in the past, and you guys have fun with them, so I could keep them coming if you guys like that. Stay subscribed because Hollow Weekend is continuing tomorrow with a look into the creation of a servitor. So again, guys, thank you for watching, and as always, this has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you there. Peace.